Good evening and welcome to Lee Summit High School. Tonight's Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. It's the third place game in the Summit Grill Shootout, as we've got William Chrisman taking on Lee Summit. Hi everybody, Kevin Wyke with Michael Watson, and our sideline reporter is Dion Clisso. This is the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Spectrum Sports. Well, if you're in the third place game, that means you lost in the semifinals, and both these teams suffered some tough losses on Wednesday.
Yeah, it means you have something to play for in both these teams. Like you said, tough losses. You want to come out tonight and play well going into the weekend.
Time now for the Hy-Vee player profile, and this guy's had a big tournament. Isaiah Jackson for Chrisman.
Yeah, Isaiah Jackson to me is one of the premier players in Kansas City, averaging 14 points, 9 boards, and 4 assists. He really is the engine for Coach Jake Cate's team, and if he goes well, they'll play well.
And for the Lee Summit Tigers, Amari Kemp, the steady hand for this team.
Yeah, great outside shooter, able to knock it down, averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds so far this year. And what I like about him is he stretches the floor for the defense.
He's their best three-point shooter. Lee Summit taking on William Chrisman, a third-place game here at Lee Summit High School in the Summit Grill Shootout. Ready for the opening tip-off in the third-place game here at the Summit Grill Shootout. Your officials, Jonathan Thurston, Ryan Clemens, and Kevin Driscoll. In white will be the home team, Lee Summit. In gold, William Chrisman. Chrisman 10-4 on the year, taking on 5-8 Lee Summit. Felix Anundike, double team, ball goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Lee Summit Tigers. Tigers lineup: LaRue, Benassi, Kemp, Anundike, and Weisner. They lost at the buzzer in the semifinals to Ruskin. There was no time on the clock. He had to make 2 free throws to send it to overtime. They only hit 1 as Felix Anundike starts the scoring for Lee Summit.
Well, you can see earlier they're trying to get inside and use his strength, and that time nice left hand for the layup.
Jackson missing the bank. Your Chrisman lineup: Jackson, Wigfall, Rowe, Calhoun, and Atagi. And we've got a whistle in the paint area and a foul coming up on William Chrisman. William Chrisman did not play well and lost to rival Raytown by 16 points in the semifinals, as we get a foul on Calhoun, sending Bryson LaRue to the stripe. And their head coach is Jake Cates, and he's not a happy camper. There he is, former Summit Christian head coach. He's in his 3rd year coaching the Bears. Didn't like the way his team played, and he's brought 3 guys off his JV squad to add to the active roster.
Yeah, Chrisman was a team you would kind of expect to be in the championship game the way they've been playing this year. And just unable, but this guy right here can get it going quick.
Isaiah Jackson had a triple-double in their first game on Monday, then had 26 in the semifinal loss. So he's a hot player right now for the Bears. And a nice steal by Wigfall for Chrisman, and he draws the Kemp foul and will shoot free throws.
Well, good job playing the passing lane for Chrisman, stepping it up on the defensive end. Lazy passing from Lee Summit. Take a look right here. Good job playing in the passing lane for Wigfall and taking it strong to the hoop.
Marcus, a 64% foul shooter, averages 11 points per game, had 18 in their first round game. Michael, you mentioned this team 10-4 on the year. They returned 4 starters. They were a 20-win team last year, lost in the state quarterfinals in overtime to Lee Summit North. So they have high expectations to the Bears this year.
Yeah, they really do, and Coach Cate really getting after and challenging Isaiah, saying, hey man, we got to get more out of you.
Shot flipped up, no good. The William Chrisman ball. As you take a look at Blake Little in his 7th year, former player here. Played for Keith Miller and Glenn McDonald. We'll have more on the McDonald grandsons now currently on the Lee Summit roster, as Chrisman missing on a 3. Early 3-3 start, about 2 minutes in. Another turnover by the Tigers. Zachariah Rowe.
Man, good job defensively from Chrisman and picking up full court really bothering Lee Summit so far here at home.
Lee Summit saw them earlier in the year at the Blue Valley shootout. As Kemp is denied at the rim. Good defense in the paint by the Bears. They're mixing in some sophomores, and they feel like they're on the rise as Jackson's three is in and out.
No one came out to challenge challenge Chrisman Jackson on that shot. Got to get to him. He's a guy who can pull it up.
High-low pass intercepted by Wigfall. Tigers off to a slow start. Wigfall going to attack the rim and scoops and scores. Marcus Wigfall.
4 turnovers so far in this first quarter from Lee Summit, not taking care of the basketball. The 2-2-1 full court press is really bothering him.
Let's see if we see Luke McDonald into the lineup, but first we get a Lee Summit timeout.
Well, last time on the floor, good job by Chrisman playing good defense, and it turns into easy offense right here for the easy scoop in an early 7-3 lead.
Check in now with our sideline reporter. Here's Dion Clisso.
Well, guys, it's always fun to come to this tournament. This is one of the best tournaments on the eastern side of the Metro, and excited to see how Chrisman's quickness is doing already to Lee Summit. These are quick guards, and it's fun to see them play defense. Lee Summit's going to be tested with that all night long.
Hey, thanks, Dion. Bears, team that they feel like they can go a long way this year. They won their first game against Central Academy, but then lost to Raytown, and Raytown is in their conference. Matter of fact, they'll play Raytown on Tuesday. They pump it inside to the sophomore, Max Weisner.
Weisner, good job. He's a big body down low for the Tigers. That time getting to his spot on the floor and knocking that layup down.
Wigfall, pass inside, intercepted by Weisner. And we see Luke McDonald, the grandson of Glenn McDonald, the former Lee Summit coach, now in the lineup. He's been a difference maker as far as getting in there and not necessarily scoring, but distributing the ball as we got a foul underneath, whistled on William Chrisman.
I thought that was a jump ball myself, but got the foul called on Isaiah Jackson. Thought he did a good job of getting his hands in there.
First one on Jackson, Atagi out. Big Lester Davis checking in. 6'6" senior forward. Play it inside. Weisner, the right-handed hook, is down.
Well, he's just coming in and making his presence known down low. Nice size and nice soft hands with the catch and layup.
Averages 9 points per game, but has scored in double figures in both these tournament games as McDonald gets the rebound after the Wigfall miss. All even at 7 apiece. Three missing the mark for Benassi. Chrisman basketball. These teams fared well in this tournament last year. William Chrisman, the runner-up to Raytown, and William Chrisman ended up 3rd in their own tournament. That was last year. This is 2020. Let's see who gets 3rd place this year. Set a high screen for Jackson. Drive and kick to Rowe for 3.
Nice. Good kick. Rowe ready to shoot in the corner, able to knock that one down. And really, Lee Summer's done a good job of kind of settling down in his first quarter after coming out with 4 turnovers. Still only down by 3.
Weisner, the baseline jumper, in and out. And Ndike with the offensive rebound and putback.
And that's where they're going to get a lot of their points. They're able to be strong on the offensive boards on the glass that time with the putback.
Felix, known more for his football prowess, headed to Kansas State. Played college football on a scholarship as a defensive end. Inside Davis, blocked. Benassi with the defense for Lee Summit. Tigers on the breakout. And LaRue stumbles, falls, and that'll be a turnover.
Well, Lee Summit really getting it done on the boards and inside. Take a look last time, the miss, but offensive putback. Offensive rebounds are just about 1-2. And that time, great putback to pull his team to within 1.
Isaiah Jackson
Nice.
leaves it to Davis. Can't make the bunny there as he misses from close range. Tigers pump it inside again. Wisner the hot hand. Banks too strong but draws the foul on Lester Davis and will shoot free throws.
Oh, man. You can't put it in the breadbasket any easier than that. Well, good job penetrating and dishing, but unable to put it back. We started to put it in. An easy miss for Chrisman.
Caden McGuire checking in for the Tigers.
Caden McGuire in. Felix Anundike out for Lee Summit. As you take a look at Max Wisner, who's also a football star, tight end, defensive end. Coach Thomas and the Tigers football program. All even at 10 apiece. Just over 2 to play here in your third-place game. The Summit Grill Shootout boys basketball tournament. Weather again in Kansas City on a Friday night. Miserable. We are playing basketball. Lester Davis tips it over to Isaiah Jackson, who puts it up and in.
A good offensive rebound and putback by Isaiah Jackson. To me, really hasn't shown what he can do. I know he had a triple-double on Monday, but he's one of those players that is a special kind of player on both ends of the floor.
Donald picks up the loose ball. The jump stop. Try to bank short. Quick outlet now to Zachariah Rowe. The body control couldn't finish though.
Good job by Chrisman getting back defensive in the transition.
Caden McGuire's 3 is blocked. Rowe got a piece. And we've got a timeout for Coach Cates and William Chrisman as he wants a 30-second timeout. His team leads by 2 late in the first quarter. Coming up, we've got the championship game in this tournament, and it's also a conference rivalry game as they play in the same suburban conference. As we've got Raytown and Ruskin. They just played 10 days ago, and it was a battle in that one. Here are the Golden Eagles cooling their heels prior to their ball game. Of course, everybody remembers that Ruskin won the William Jewell tournament in the Patterson division, and remember who they beat. I was there that night. They beat Liberty at William Jewell. It's about 3,000 people there. 90% of them were cheering on the Liberty Blue Jays. And Ruskin got down early, but they came back and won it.
They really did. Good team, good young team, very well coached. They play hard. And to win in Liberty, man, big victory.
But Raytown very hot right now as Calhoun with the offensive rebound and putback. Alex Calhoun.
Neither team really able to separate so far in this first quarter. Chrisman 2 to 4 point lead, but Lee Summit doing a good job and getting it done on the offensive end board. A good steal by Chrisman.
That is Antonio Rodriguez off the bench for William Chrisman, a backup guard. Rowe inside, shot blocked, put back up on a second try, and now they say a jump ball.
Well, good penetration by Rowe in the drop-off, but good block on the play for Lee Summit.
So they said Ralph Covington's shot was a tie-up. Here's Jackson playing it inside to Covington. Can't hit, got his own miss.
Nice.
Puts it up and in, and he's fouled.
Man, he is just a low down low. Unable to get the first one, but staying with it. Good pass initially by Isaiah Jackson. Staying with the play and one opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Foul on McDonald is first. Here's Covington completing the three-point play.
Alex Manassi checks in for the Tigers.
Big lead of 7 now for Chrisman as we wind down the first quarter. Summit battle back, played it inside now to Wisner. Battling Covington, and Covington comes away with it, and his pass is stolen. It's re-stolen back. Hot potato basketball, and it's William Chrisman ball in the backcourt.
That's when you're yelling at the coach, just pick it up. Good initial defense down low against Wiseman, and Chrisman just battling around. The ball is everywhere. No one's under control, and ends up going out on Wiseman. It'll be Chrisman's ball with just under 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
There you see the turnovers by Lee Summit. Already 5 here in the first quarter. Calhoun from downtown to try to beat the buzzer, and he cannot. But William Chrisman, a late run at the end of the first quarter, enjoys a 7-point lead after 1 in the third place game here at the Summit Grill Shootout on the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week. Tonight's game brought to you by Hy-Vee. They're proud to support Greater Kansas City High School athletics as we check in with Dion.
A lot of energy brought in by Ralph Covington there, the sophomore, and that's really nice to have off the bench. And you can put some young guys in, they can come in and give you just quick minutes, and he was real active on the box, and you could see that in the way the ball got turned over to late.
Thanks, Dion. As we get ready for the start of the second quarter, it'll be Lee Summit ball. We've got Benassi, McDonald, Damian Wilson, Amari Kemp, and Felix Anandike. Team on the rise. They've been mixing some sophomores with their seniors. Amari Kemp missing the 3. Rebounding foul on Benassi for Lee Summit. Your lineup for William Chrisman is Jackson, Wigfall, Calhoun, Covington, and Rodriguez. Jackson, no looking to Calhoun. Here's Wigfall, and he'll be called for the travel. Turnover number 3 on the Bears.
They're just out of sorts right now for both teams. Got to take care of the basketball if you're Lee Summit, and Chrisman continuing where you were doing that first half, playing good defense and getting out of the transition.
Amari Kemp with a 3 ball, not close, rebounded by Calhoun. Alex pull up from 14, shot at 13. Go back to Lee Summit. Coach Cates a little frustrated with how his team has played. They got a win on Monday, but he wasn't so happy with the first half. But very frustrated to be beaten by Raytown by 16 in the semifinal.
Oh, good body. Oh, got to finish that.
Anandike can't hit from close range. Bears have it back. Inside Covington. Back out to Rodriguez for 3. That's a big-time rebound by Felix Anandike. Play with the Wildcats of K-State. College football next year. Inside, Wisner blocked by the defense of Covington.
Man, good job by Covington. Wiseman lowered the shoulder. Oh.
And they call a charge as Donald stood and took the charge.
Well, good job by Covington standing in against Wiseman. Lowered that shoulder, no call, but Covington got his hands in there and then transitioned to the other end. And I hate the call because the ball's already gone. You still get called for the charge, but either way, it's Chrisman's ball.
The ball is kicked. It'll stay with Lee Summit on the side. Coach Blake Little feeling like his team's starting to find themselves. I saw him earlier in the year. They got 8th place, last place in the Blue Valley Shootout. William Jewell, they got 6th. It's a team he feels like is starting to find its rhythm. They won a week ago against a rival Lee Summit West. As far as this tournament, they beat Hogan Prep soundly. And remember in the Blue Valley Shootout, they played Ruskin and lost by 18 points. That was back in December. On Wednesday night, they lost at the buzzer when they only hit 1 out of 2 free throws to Ruskin. So they've kind of feel like they've made some progress.
We've got a double foul. Take a look at 22 and right there in the middle, and I don't see enough to get a foul. Just being strong down there, but both players got a foul.
Calhoun gets it explained to him, and he checks out of the game. Felix Anandike has his second, and we see Bud Crawford, the 6'8" player for Lee Summit, in their lineup as Benassi with the wing three-pointer.
Well, Chrisman went back into his zone, and Lee Summit made him pay. Benassi just standing out there, sharp shooter, able to knock that down from three.
Also on a foul on Kemp. Benassi, one of these baby-faced sophomores, they feel like is really going to help them later in the year, and he's a good shooter from the outside. He and Luke McDonald, Wisner, Caden McGuire, Landon Shepard, they got a bunch of sophomores they feel like will really contribute to this team, especially as they get into February.
Got the chance to see these guys on the summer circuit, so good to see them out here tonight playing. But oh my goodness.
Zachariah connects from the baseline.
Man, just sweet pull-up left-handed shot. I really like his game in that point guard position.
Benassi open for another three. Rebounded by Wigfall. Bears like to play fast. Zachariah, there's that left-handed three off the back iron. Rebound on the deck, controlled by Kemp. Skip it to Kemp for a long three.
Hey, there you go, Kemp. Just like that. Chrisman back in the zone, and Lee Summit making him pay. Kemp that time with the nice three outside.
Now they're back within three, about halfway through your second quarter. Amari Kemp has scored 16 and 16 in their first two games in this tournament, so he is scoring in double figures and leading the scoring for the Tigers. But they've got their big guy back. Bud Crawford controlling the defense in front of the rim. He's been out with some flu-like symptoms for the first two games in this tournament.
Nice.
As Ralph Covington using the glass nicely.
Good job by Covington. That's a hard shot to shoot from that angle. Off the glass, old school style right there. 5
points off the bench for Ralph. Here's the big guy, Bud Crawford. Can't reverse it home.
We've seen it a couple of times, and here's a turnover by Chrisman. We've seen it a couple of times for Lee Summit. Missing those layups on the inside.
Frustration on the face of Coach Cates. His team turning the ball over. High post now. Wisner going to put it on the floor, go off glass. Not his own miss, but was standing on the baseline. William Chrisman ball.
Love the hustle from Wiseman. He is so tough inside, just able to get that one to go, but you love his tenacity around the glass.
Covington, the hot hand off the bench, high post. Now handing off to Jackson. Sets the screen for Jackson. Finds Atagi from the elbow. Rebound taken by Benassi. Benassi inside with the big 6'8" Crawford, and he draws the foul on Atagi.
Good entry pass over the top. And you can see Atagi gets called for the foul down low. Got it up top, but gets called for the hand on the hip down low.
Bud Crawford. Again, sick the first two games of this tournament. This is his first action. He's a guy that's gotten better and better. Coach Randy Ferris, former Grandview coach, works with the bigs for the East Summit program as an assistant. Is really liking how this young guy's developed. Once again, you can't teach 6'8", 6'9". And a blocking foul on Lee Summit. Beyond Benassi.
Alice called on number 2, Alex Benassi, second.
It'll be a 1-1 at the other end now for Marcus Wigfall. William Chrisman also plays football in the fall. Can't hit the front end of the 1-1. It's 1 out of 3 from the stripe. Let's see if Lee Summit can get this tied up as we approach Hy-Vee at the half. Numbers and highlights brought to you by Hy-Vee. Inside to a posted Weisner, out to Kemp from downtown. Weisner, the slap, tipping it back out to Kemp, and a blocking foul whistled on Covington of Chrisman.
Man, that was a collision down low. Kemp missed the initial 3, but decided to take it to the basket, and Covington is alone down low. Take a look at it right here. Did he get in position? Let's take a look right here. No, still moving. Shoulders weren't square. It was a good call by the official.
Mari's first free throw, no good. Mari, their top foul shooter at 81%. Thus far, the three-pointer, his only points tonight. Coming off a 16-point semifinal scoring game. Jackson.
Nice hesitation.
Wow,
Man.
smooth, wasn't it?
Super smooth. Good hesitation going to the left and able to finish. He is a premier player to me. I don't think a lot of people know too much about him in the city, but he's a guy to watch.
Division II level player, you think?
Oh, easily. Can play at the D1 level at that point guard position. Very smart. You see what he can do in the defensive end.
McDonald to the baseline and banks it home. The young sophomore and grandson of Glenn McDonald, the former head coach at Lee Summit. 1988, they had that 30-1 team with Tim Connors and Patrick Ritchie. They got second place. Their only loss was to Bashan out of St. Louis. They had a couple of NBA guys on that Bashan team. Here's Wigfall off glass. Quickly out come the Tigers. LaRue driving the right side. Good defense by Zachariah Rowe.
Great defense by Zachariah Rowe, not giving up on the play, getting back in transition. Coach Cates, gotta love that. Take a look right here. Thought he would be out of the play. Good job running through, and I don't know if he elbowed the basketball or not, but good defensive play by Rowe.
Ball nearly stolen. Now it is stolen by Hunter McDonald. That's the older brother of Luke McDonald, also a grandson of Glenn McDonald. All about the McDonald family. As there's Bryson LaRue driving the left side, puts it up and in.
Chrisman just being careless with the ball. 2 turnovers on back-to-back possessions, and Lee Summit taking advantage.
Inside, Lester Davis puts it up and in. The assist by Zachariah Rowe.
Man, what a good job by Rowe, getting into the lane, drawing the defense, and dropping it off for the easy bucket.
Under a minute for Hy-Vee at the half. McDonald, a wild shot there, and he's bailed out as the ball is tipped out by Chrisman. The Lee Summit ball at the baseline.
Well, Rowe, good job getting into the lane and just dropping it off for the easy assist. That one barely got over the front of the rim. I know Cates would have lost his mind.
Steal by Chrisman, out to Zachariah Rowe for 3. Donald the rebound on the weak side. Plenty of time for the Tigers, down by 4. Third place game of the Summit Grill shootout. And Jackson the reach-in foul. That'll be free throws at the other end for Lee Summit.
There have been a lot of fouls in this first half. I don't think either team has really got an opportunity to get their flow.
Luke McDonald shooting for the Tigers.
Be a 1-and-1 for sophomore Luke McDonald. That's carry. Grandpa's up there biting on his hand. He's a nervous Nelly up there, top part of the bleachers here. front end of the 1-1. So Lee Summit down by 4. And figure William Chrisman will hold for the final shot of the second quarter. Send the double team at Rowe. Wigfall gonna attack the left side, and it spins out, no good, and that is halftime. 25-21. William Chrisman leading the host team, Lee Summit, here in the Summit Grill Shootout third place game. And we're gonna go down on the court and talk to the head coach of William Chrisman, Jake Cates, as his team leads by 4 at halftime. Dion.
We're down here with Coach Case from William Chrisman, and kind of some fits and starts in there, but defensively, you guys were still staying active there and getting some steals. What do you like about your first half?
Yeah, we're scrappy. They're obviously bigger than we are. We obviously have more guards than they have, and so it's going to be that, that kind of matchup the rest of the way. If we can keep our energy where it's at, and I think if we can keep the game going at our pace, then we'll come out all right.
It's a good minutes off the bench from like Covington and some guys like that brought energy.
Absolutely, and that's what we have to do. It could be a different 6 or 7 guys every night with us. So.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dion. As we have reached halftime in the third place game, the Summit Grill Shootout, Ivy at the half. Coming up next. Halftime of the third place game. Chrisman by 4. Time now for the Hy-Vee first half highlights.
Well, good job by Chrisman. Starting out going inside, and we've seen that first half how they got it done on the glass and dominating the boards, being physical and playing fast. On the other end for Chrisman, this is how they've gotten started earlier. Rowe with the layup after the steal. They're really good at picking up full court, penetrating and kicking. You see Rowe with another 3 with a good assist by Isaiah Jackson. Lee Summit we thought was going to be out, but early would battle back with a couple of 3-point baskets. But Chrisman taking advantage of their quickness and outside shooting ability. Rowe really having a good first half so far. Lee Summit standing in with his Kemp right there, knocking it down from outside. And this is the guy where William can get it going as he passes to Covington, but Isaiah Jackson can really get it going for Chrisman.
Back with the third quarter. You're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Spectrum Sports. Underway with the third quarter, and a Marcus Wigfall 3 will start the quarter scoring. And back to a 7-point lead now for William Chrisman. Amari Kemp answers with a 3 for Lee Summit.
Nice answer, good down screen, and Kemp got his feet set, and he's one of the better shooters for the Tigers.
Starting lineup for Chrisman in the second half as Jackson is fouled on the play. It'll be Jackson, Wigfall, Rowe, Calhoun, and Rowe. So 3s going down early for both teams as we start the second half, Michael.
Yeah, for Chrisman, Wigfall, good penetration and kick out by Isaiah Jackson. Wigfall knocking that one down. Not to be outdone on the other end, Kemp came right back with a 3 for the Tigers.
And a traveling violation whistled on William Chrisman. Your Lee Summit lineup is LaRue. Also out there is McDonald, Kemp, Anandike, and Wisner. Lee Summit, the host team in this tournament, the home team in white, trailing as we begin play in the third quarter in the third place game. And a turnover by Lee Summit. So a lot of turnovers by both teams. McDonald, the sophomore point guard, going to have some ups and downs, but he is actually, I think, a real positive for this team, as this team seems to play better when he is running the point. So here's a Wigfall, kick out, Zachariah Rowe, 17, not even close. And here comes the Tigers on a break. Numbers in their favor. LaRue, and the bucket and the foul as Wigfall undercut him. and drew the foul.
Oh, man. Wigfall trying to get back into the play, and LaRue just goes over. Goodness. Glad he's young, but he's gonna feel that tomorrow, though.
Chance at the three-point play for Bryson LaRue. Now he's smiling. He's okay. He's a sophomore. He's one of their super sophomores they've got for the Tigers. He's having a good game tonight. One-point game, Michael. You think William Chrisman's in charge here. The Tigers have battled back. Nice look there by Rowe, setting up Alex Atagi.
And that's all night long for Chrisman. They can penetrate, draw the defense, drop it off for easy buckets, and that time, Rowe doing just that.
High-low pass, intercepted, and we'll go the other way as we got a foul on Lee Summit, as we've got a special guest now here with Dion Clisso.
Well, guys, you don't know who you'll find at a tournament. We got Drew Locke, a former Lee Summit basketball player, and you play a little football now, too. You play a lot of games on this. You've been in this tournament. How fun is it to come back and watch this?
Yeah, it's really fun. Sitting next to a guy here that I used to whip up on all the time in this tournament. But, no, there's a lot of memories in this tournament. It's been fun, especially being able to come back now. See Coach Little, he's rocking the Jordans, it looks like. He hasn't changed one bit with the swag, but the tournament's definitely changed a little bit.
Well, exciting year for you, your first year in the NFL as a starter, and has it all kind of sunk in for you yet?
A little bit. When I started probably like getting into the third or fourth game of that, it kind of sunk in, realizing that you're trying to make a super long career out of this. This is what you've always wanted to do, your whole life. So very prepared going into every single week and give it all you got every single week too.
Well, I know the game didn't go your way, but how fun was it to play at Arrowhead?
It was cool playing at Arrowhead. Obviously, you don't want all the snow. You'd rather have a nicer day than what it gave us. But it was cool to be back home and playing in that environment. I know it's not the last time we'll play there, and hopefully the next time it's hopefully some sun out.
Well, Drew, as always, it's good talking with you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dion and Drew. And you were just saying how good a player Drew was as a basketball player.
Drew was a baller. Don't let him fool you. He could play some basketball. Average was about 20 and 8.
20 points, 8 rebounds, yeah.
He could go, and it's just so awesome to see him. I've been knowing him since he was an 8th grader, and to see him just as a young man. And what I love is that he's having fun. He's enjoying it. He doesn't take himself too seriously, but he's an NFL starting quarterback. That's a phenomenal thing to be able to say, and just couldn't happen to a better kid. Young man. Can't even call him kid. Better young man.
Yeah, he was being recruited at the D1 level as a basketball player.
Oh, yeah. For sure. He could go. I mean, he could shoot it from anywhere, a lot of swag, and it's just so good to see him being successful, and like he said, hopefully making a long career as a Denver Bronco.
And of course, his family sponsoring this tournament, Andy and Laura Locke, the Summit Grill Shootout for 2020. Thanks to them. Check them out there at 4835 Northeast Lakewood Way in Lee Summit. Classic American fare food there. Was there last year in May. Pumping inside. Here's Crawford. Back out LaRue. McDonald. Skip pass to Amari Kemp for 3. McDonald the offensive rebound. And he'll draw the foul.
That's where Lee Summit has really been good tonight on the offensive glass, getting second chance opportunities, and it's really a big reason they're still in the game.
Donald shooting 2.
Good one time.
At 11 points last night did McDonald. They want him to distribute the ball. Run the point for Lee Summit. Big falls 3 off the mark. Lee Summit just hanging around. They can't seem to grab a lead, but they're still within striking distance, down by 3 about halfway through the third quarter. It inside.
Yeah, got a kick ball initially, but it'll go over.
I'm with Blake Little. I don't even know what the heck the call was, unless they called a kick. We'll go back the other way with William Chrisman. And we got a charge on Zachariah Rowe. This will be Lee Summit ball, down by 3.
That was on number 20, Zachariah Rowe, his third, team 4.
3 fouls now on Zachariah, who's a twin. Zachary plays on the team as well. Getting some tough defense by Wigfall. Now lobs it to the 6'8" Crawford, who puts it up and in, and he's called for traveling. No basket.
But you just see the potential of this guy. Not playing a lot of basketball, but good catch, yeah, and travel. Got to put it on the floor. But he's athletic. He is long. Oh, man.
Isaiah Jackson.
Oh, go get it, young fella.
3-year starter. All-conference player, top scorer for the Bears. Donald's pass intercepted by Wigfall. Another turnover by the Tigers. Jackson strong to the rim, and we've got a foul coming up on Lee Summit.
That's really where Chrisman is at their best. Defensive stops to transition. That time able to get in the lane and draw the foul.
Isaiah Jackson shooting for the Bears.
Foul on Damian Wilson, sending Isaiah Jackson to the foul stripe to shoot 2. He had a triple-double on Monday, the first round of this tournament. Looks like he's trying to get another one. At 26 in the semifinal loss to Raytown. Coming up next, we'll have Raytown versus Ruskin in the championship of this tournament. Caden McGuire checking in for Damian Wilson. Backcourt pressure shown by William Chrisman. They've gone back to a 7-point lead. One of their bigger leads in this ball game is Lee Summit just won't go away. Reach-in foul on Wigfall of William Chrisman.
Foul on number 5, Marcus Wigfall, his third, team 4.
3 now on Marcus. Lee Summit ball on the side. Low-scoring game. Teams can't really seem to find an offensive rhythm.
A lot of whistles as well, and so neither team can really get into a flow.
Benassi inside to Crawford, the catch, and can't hit from point blank.
Yeah, that's a second time we've seen that from the bigs. Down low, you got to be able to knock those easy layups in. It'll cost you the game.
Here's Wigfall. And his shot was adjusted by the big 6'8" player guarding the rim, and it'll go back to Lee Summit. This guy is a developing player, and his offensive skills are a little rough, but got a guy at 6'8" you can put in front of the rim. That's a shot deterrent there. Here's Caden McGuire for 3. Rebound claimed in the corner by Wigfall of Chrisman. Marcus, the drive and kick. Rodriguez for 3. Crawford can't hold the rebound, and Wigfall picks it up and puts it back in.
Yeah, that's just good hustle by Wigfall, staying around the play, not giving up on it. Ball just fell right in his hands, able to lay that one up, and good run for the last 3 minutes by Chrisman. We're on a 9-2 run to have a 9-point lead.
Wire cut off at the baseline. Now Caden goes to the right side and lays it up and in.
Nice scoop by McGuire getting to the hole.
And we get a timeout for William Chrisman.
Well, Chrisman's doing a good job of just staying on and around the ball. Take a look right here. Wigfall staying into play, staying with it, and just gets it over the front of the rim. And on the other end for Lee Summit, McGuire, good job with the hesitation and explosion towards the rim for the layup on the other end to pull his team to within 7.
Let's check in now with Dion.
Well, guys, I talked with Coach Little just at a halftime, and he said that he feels like his team's getting a little better, but one thing that he knows they need to do is what they've tried to do is get back as Chrisman wants to do that transition game. They've done a pretty good job of it, but the loose balls around the rim are really costing them right now.
Well, Coach Little says this team is continuing to develop. They're at 5-8 right now. Like I said, I saw them in December at the Blue Valley Shootout, and they were really struggling at that point, but he feels like they've maybe turned the corner and can have a strong finish to their 19-20 season. And that's really all that matters, what you do in that district.
That's right.
Under 2 minutes to play in your third quarter, third place game of the Summit Grill Shootout. We're at Lee Summit High School. All right, Michael, I'll put you to the test. Is this the best basketball venue for high school basketball in Kansas City? I would vote yes. I would vote yes. Oh, yeah, this one's the best.
Huh.
All right, throw out some other venues.
That's interesting as the best one.
North Kansas City is the newest with the video board. That's the only thing this place doesn't have, the big video boards.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
All right. Shot off the mark from the corner, but an offensive rebound, and the Bears will get another look. Rodriguez short, and the ball tipped out by McDonald. Will stay with William Chrisman. There's a lot of cookie cutter gyms out there.
Yeah.
The Blue Valley gyms, the Olathe gyms.
I like the old school gyms, though. I like the...
Well, this is an old school gym, 1975. This opened up. That's pretty old.
You know what I used to like, though? North Kansas City, the old gym.
Yeah, well, it's gone.
Oh, I know it's gone, but I used to like it.
They got a brand new one there. Nice break, but can't finish at the rim by McGuire. They had the numbers. Layup is missed.
Got to get that layup for Lee Summit. That would have pulled him within 5. Now opportunity for Chrisman to go up 8 or 9.
Here's Jackson falling down, but finding a teammate, Calhoun.
Looks like Chrisman is going to play for one shot. 25 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Probably going to get him to go at 10. Coach Cates calling it out.
Dane Hurl in the lineup. One of 3 JV players brought to the varsity by Coach Cates as we got a foul. It's in the backcourt on William Chrisman. Coach Cates bringing up Trey Cates, his own son, who's a freshman, Dane Hurl, and Saran Felix. And they will not be in the program. These are JV guys brought up because Coach Cates is frustrated with his current varsity guys. Time running out. Wilson going to try to beat the clock. Puts up the shot at the buzzer, and we got a foul coming out. So Wilson, with the clock at 0s, will shoot free throw.
Well, 4.2 seconds in to go, and he got all the way to the rim and draws the foul. So he'll shoot 2.
So all by himself after the foul was whistled on William Chrisman. This is how their semifinal game ended the other night. No time on the clock. Max Weisner having hit 2. He only hit 1 out of 2, so they lost in the semifinals, 49-48. And 1 out of 2 again, and that's the end of the third quarter. Down by 6, Lee Summit trailing William Chrisman in the third place game of the 2020 Summit Grill Shootout. You're watching the Hy-Vee High School Game of the Week here on Spectrum Sports. Tonight's game brought to you by Hy-Vee. They're proud to support Greater Kansas City High School athletics. We're at Lee Summit High School. Hy-Vee scoring by quarters as William Chrisman leads it by 6. Going to the fourth quarter, and coming up next, the championship game of this tournament, Raytown versus Ruskin. Should be a good one. Two conference rivals from the Suburban White Conference already played not too long ago, and Raytown won a close one. So see how this one fares in the championship of the Summit Grill Shootout. Lee Summit will start with the basketball, down by 6 here in the fourth quarter. They got third place in this tournament last year. Haven't led in this game. Here's Benassi for 3.
Nice, Benassi. That's how you come out in the fourth quarter with a big 3. And just like that, Chrisman is only up by 3 points.
Alex Calhoun answers for William Chrisman with a corner 3.
Right back ain't cheating, baby.
He is their top 3-point shooter, is Alex Calhoun. Played inside, Anundike could not save it. Go back to William Chrisman after the Tiger turnover. Wigfall, Jackson, Rowe, Atagi, and Calhoun in the gold jerseys for William Chrisman, also out of the Suburban White Conference. Screen and roll action for Jackson. Here's Wigfall.
What a move.
Marcus in double figures tonight. McDonald double teamed at the baseline, stepped out. Turnover Lee Summit.
That's a good job by Chrisman playing, sending the men to the baseline, which is an extra defender. If you're a good coach, you teach that to your guys. Use the baseline and the sideline as an extra defender, and that's how I'm forcing the turnover.
Well, a big lead of 8 right now for the Bears. Trying to get third place in this tournament. Wigfall, Atagi. Now Jackson on the attack. Had it knocked free as he went up with a shot. Amari Kemp for 3. Jackson rebounding, outletting now to Wigfall. Behind the back, Jackson, tough shot off glass, good. Isaiah Jackson.
Man, he is a tough player to guard off the dribble. You don't have any help defense, he will make you pay.
He is the top scorer for the Bears with 12 points. This guy gonna most likely be all tournament as we got a Bears foul on the inside. And it's gonna be on Calhoun. As Wisner checking back into the Lee Summit lineup.
Well, here at the Summit Grill tournament, dinner is served. Isaiah Jackson with the sweet scoop and score.
101 awarded to Amari Kemp. Can't hit the front end of the 101. Covington the rebound. And Alex Calhoun heating up from bonus distance.
Yeah, second shot from the same spot, Calhoun. Good job by Isaiah Jackson, knowing who was hot and getting him the ball.
Timeout, Lee Summit. as a big lead now enjoyed by William Chrisman at 13 as they're hitting threes, courtesy of number 22, Alex Calhoun.
Well, he got the right number, 22, from the corner, letting it fly. Hand down, man down. Chrisman now out to a 13-point lead.
Let's check in with Dion.
Well, guys, coming out of that last rebound, Coach Case really wants Chrisman to pick up the pace, and then when they got to the half court, he wanted him to get in the motion, and they were able to do that. And then they come down and they get the quick three. He's really wanting to kind of get things going. And you know, Kevin, you talked about how he didn't like how his team played. He's really trying to push them, even with a 13-point lead right here.
Just seemed like a frustrated coach. When I went to ask him who was starting, he said, we're still trying to figure that out. We're just not sure on who we even want to start. I said, you can't figure out a starting five for a third-place game in a tournament, huh? He said, you're just frustrated with how we're playing right now.
And as happens, though, as a coach, especially in the middle of the year, and think you should be playing better than you are, and you've got a good record, but still understanding the pulse of your team and knowing, hey, we could play a lot better. And Jake Cates, a East Bear, former East Bear graduate. So a lot of people don't know he's from the Interscholastic League and cut from a different cloth, very tough-minded coach.
Anundike with the bucket and the foul, and Felix will have a chance at the three-point play.
Well, good job. Good entry passes. Anundike, good job of using his strength. He is so strong and football player, so he loves the contact, able to finish.
Headed to K-State to play college football. Not close on the free throw, however. Here comes Chrisman back the other way. Wigfall out to Rowe. Zachariah off balance. And the rebound taken by Wisner.
Well, Wisner is just ultra tough down low. Good job securing that board.
Physical player is Wisner. Donald inside to Anundike. And he'll draw another foul. Wigfall got the foul, and that's a big foul. That is his fourth. As he stares at the bench, waiting for his replacement to check in. Nobody is forthcoming off the Bears bench, as Anundike will shoot two. Crawford, the 6'8" player, in for Wisner for Lee Summit. Felix struggles from the foul stripe. It's three straight. Lead stays at 11 for William Chrisman, third-place game of the Summit Grill Shootout. We're at Lee Summit High School. You got a new, you got a venue for me, Michael, as far as a basketball venue?
Mine was North
I mean, the
Kansas
shooting
City.
eye. Okay, you like the old?
I like the old North Kansas City, but
All right.
take a look at that last defensive play right here. Good job coming over the top for the block.
That was McDonald with the block, and an over and back call on Chrisman as Rowe
Wisner checking in for the Tigers.
worked the midline there, and Coach Cates continues his frustrating tournament for him. His team is, that's a coach leading by 11 in the fourth quarter right there. McDonald into the paint, cut off. Trying to find Manassi for a three. Side McDonald. Tough shot in the paint, and he knocked it down. Luke McDonald.
At least something trying to hang around, not trying to let Chrisman run away with it, but time might not be on their side. 3:45 remaining here in the game.
Timeout, William Chrisman, as Coach Cates wants to talk to his Bears. Coming up next, the championship game of this tournament. And we got Raytown and Ruskin going to square off. Should be a good one. Raytown, of course, the defending champions of this tournament. Trying to go back-to-back here in Lee Summit.
Yeah, they're playing so well. Clicking on all cylinders, really getting up and down the floor, but beat Ruskin by 3, I think, earlier this year. And so that's going to be a good one, especially when you're conference rivals at the same time.
The game was at Raytown. 60-57, Michael, you're right, by 3 points.
Here, we're right back in this thing, all right? We're right.
That was the conference game. We'll have another conference game coming up later in the season. This will be for a tournament
Let's
championship.
just finish the rest of them, we'll be fine, all right? You guys are doing a great job. You're playing really hard. Rebound the basketball. Let's go. Come on.
There is Grandpa Glenn McDonald, and biting his hand. That's his trademark. Kevin Harrison there, sitting next to him in the green sweater. Just gnaws on those hands, even when he's here as a grandpa, not as a head coach. And he's a phenomenal head coach. Had that 30-1 team. They got second in 1988 for Lee Summit. Here's Wigfall for 3, and he knocks it down.
Man, a big shot by Wigfall just when it looked like Lee Summit wants to make a run. Good timeout, good play out of the timeout by Coach Gates.
McDonald, the baseline runner, comes up short. Jackson back the other way. Numbers for the Bears. Calhoun out to Wigfall. Rowe with a 3. Covington an offensive rebound. And he's fouled by Crawford underneath. Crawford checks out, and Wisner back in the post position for Lee Summit. It's only 14 fouls on the Tigers, so no free throws. Chrisman playing it in. Here's the wiry lefty, Zachariah Rowe with the floater.
What I love, coming off the screen, slowing down and allowing the defender to run up his back and then accelerating for the floater. Just crafty ball handling by Rowe.
Big lead of 14 now for William Chrisman. Right inside. Ball going to be tied up. The arrow will go to the Bears.
Hunter McDonald checking in for the Tigers. Bud Crawford checking in for the Tigers.
Both teams. Guys have we seen play tonight? 25 for both teams. Still trying to find, themselves, find some offense as Jackson is bumped and fouled. Still no free throws, only 5 team fouls on Lee Summit.
15, McDonald, his third, team 5th.
3 fouls now on McDonald, the point guard for the Tigers. Steal by Benassi.
Nice job.
Timeout, Lee Summit.
Timeout, Tigers.
Nice job by the sophomore Benassi. We've seen some plays like this from him, playing the passing lane and then able to finish with the layup, and a quick timeout by Lee Summit, down by 12.
Still 2 timeouts left for Coach Little, who played for Glenn McDonald back in his high school days. Teaches history here at Lee Summit High School. He was a longtime Lee Summit West assistant for Michael Schieber. There's Randy Ferris on the bench with him, the former Grandview coach. Timeout. See Lee Summit with some backcourt pressure. Jackson not free. Turnover. William Chrisman. Here's Benassi for 3. Chrisman wants to spread the floor and run some clock as Jackson draws the contact, puts it up and in. And it'll count, and he is fouled.
Grown man move right there by Jackson. Coach is yelling at him, pull it out, but it's like, no, coach, I got him, I got him. Good job, good body control right here, just taking the contact from two Lee Summit players and still able to finish.
They gave the foul to McDonald. As you see, double-double for Jackson. Guys had a triple-double in the opening game of this tournament. It was against Central Academy.
Foul number 1, Isaiah Jackson.
Isaiah committing a foul that I'm sure Coach Cates won't love, as you want to keep the clock running here. And William Chrisman in the double bonus situation for Lee Summit, as they have 10 team fouls. So 2 shots here now to sophomore Luke McDonald.
A lot of nice young players and on both teams, and what I love is that the guys are playing through to the end, no matter what the score is. For all the young guys watching, Josiah Dial, I know he's watching, one of our K1 players. Make sure you play, every possession. We love to see the competitiveness from Lee Summit.
Couple of free throw makes, the lead at 12 with under 2 to play in regulation of the third place game. Now they throw it away in the backcourt. Damian Wilson will get an easy deuce at the rim.
Got to take care of the basketball.
And now Benassi with the foul, and that will be the 7th. So we'll start a 1-on-1 now for William Chrisman. Sophomore guard picks up his 3rd foul, sending Alex Calhoun into the 1-on-1 for William Chrisman. Calhoun had a couple of big threes to start the 4th quarter and kind of expanded on that Chrisman lead and kind of kept them in the safe zone for at least some comeback.
Shooting the open shots, going to his spot, being aggressive with the ball, just doing the little things, the fundamentals, Josiah, that we teach and practice. Same things you see here. Doesn't end when you get older.
3 guys in double figures for William Chrisman. Steal by Zachariah Rowe.
Oh, took the dunk steps. I thought he was going to try to turn that one over.
And now they have 4 guys in double figures as Rowe has gone to double figures. Now the steal by Wigfall. Marcus had a poke from behind, and it went off Marcus, so that'll be Lee Summit ball on the backcourt. Marcus frustrated there. Had some easy points coming his way, it looked like, but the defender slipped in from behind and knocked it free. So Jackson in double figures, Wigfall in double figures, Rowe in double figures, and Calhoun. So 4 of the 5 starters in double figures for William Chrisman. They're going to win their 11th, go to 11-4 as we got a whistle and a foul on the floor on Covington as he and Wisner were bodying each other. This guy was big in the first half coming off the bench for William Chrisman, gave him some good minutes. Ralph Covington as he picks up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, he looks dismayed right there. And I'm kind of with him. I don't know how you get a foul called on you when the guy's lowering his shoulder and into your chest. So Covington's looking over at coach like, man, I'm doing what you taught me to do.
And when Wisner plays, he brings the football field to the basketball court. He's a very physical player. The super sophomores for the Tigers. Had a good tournament. 13 in the first game, 17 in the second game. Tonight closing in on double figures. It down. The 3rd place game going to go to William Chrisman, Raytown, and Ruskin. Coming up next, the championship of this tournament.
Foul number 21, Amari Kemp, his 3rd, team 8.
Kemp with the foul. And free throws awarded to Zachariah Rowe.
Kevin Wire, Max Weisner, checking in for the Tigers.
And we got to show some love, Kevin, to me, the best, if not 1A, 1B player, along with Jerron Rush.
There's celebrities all over the place.
Yeah, to
tonight,
play in Kansas City, from Paseo High School, University of Missouri, and 13-year NBA career. The legend Anthony Peeler in the building tonight.
Yeah,
first row.
First row, center court.
He's the reason I'm a Mizzou fan for life. Literally, the Big 8. Like, he is the reason that my Mizzou loyalties run deep.
He's here cheering on Raytown. He's here for the next game. As the ball goes inside and Weisner can't connect. We got Drew Locke. We got Anthony Peeler here. Well, it's supposed to be some kind of tournament here. As we wind it down, the third place game. And William Chrisman will win a ball game. And I think Coach Cates has got to be a little bit happier, but he's going to take apart that video, as his team will get third place behind a 60-47 final, as they'll beat Lee Summit on their home floor. So third place to the William Chrisman Bears, fourth place to Lee Summit. Your final 60-47 is 4 guys for William Chrisman in double figures. Back with the High B wrap-up. You're watching the High B High School Game of the Week. Fans getting ready for the championship game of this tournament. Raytown and Ruskin. Third place game goes to William Chrisman. 4 of their 5 starters in double figures. They win it 60-47. Special thanks to the Lee Summit Athletic Director, Tracy Bertonson. Thanks to our coaches, Blake Little and Jake Cates. Our producer, Curtis Lorenz, from Michael Watson, Dion Clisso, and our entire Spectrum Sports broadcasting crew. Kevin White saying so long from the third place game at the Summit Grill Shootout. Stay tuned. Raytown and Ruskin coming up next as we say goodnight from Lee Summit.